Welcome. This video shows the work performed during the EOC testbed 13 for the Earth Observation Clouds thread. This thread, sponsored by the European Space Agency, supports the development of the thematic exploitation platforms. This activity built an ecosystem of computing platforms that follows a given set of scenarios with data and ICT provision aggregated around an Earth science thematic area. These user scenarios cover the Earth observation data exploitation, where a user discovers and manipulates data, new service development, where a user deploys a new processor, and new product development, where a user publishes new results. The wide usage of virtualization and the possibility to start virtual environments within cloud services significantly simplifies the provisioning of resources. However, it still leaves a problem of portability between infrastructures. The activity performed identified a strategy for packaging an application in a cloud environment that will be able to run in a predictable manner in different computing production centers. Applications were selected from the Forestry Thematic Exploitation Platform and from the Geohazards tab. The application package targets applications that are initially developed by a user and subsequently deployed in a specific computing production center. The consensus reached in the testbed is to use the OWS context documents to convey the necessary information. The OWS context specification was created to aggregate a collection of services to be shared among different applications or domains supporting OGC services, online resources and inline content. The specification follows the OGC approach of a conceptual model and implements specific encodings for Atom and GeoJSON. The application package is encoded as an Atom OWS context document. It includes the information about the Docker container to provide a consistent environment for execution and uses WPS as the execution interface. This document is used as input parameter to a dedicated WPS service that will create and deploy the application as a new WPS process offering. It also includes information about the input data and respective OpenSearch catalog endpoints. With this document, the Geohazards exploitation platform can now create an web app that is directly published in the portal. It will be then accessible as a map-based application with the elements defined on the OWS context document, like the data collections, used to find the data we need to process. These tools are available directly on the map interface, allowing us to find the Sentinel-2 scenes relevant to our service. The service measuring the volcano's thermal activity described in the document was deployed and is directly available from the portal for execution. The jobs are submitted and the results directly available for visualization and download. With the defined application package, it is also possible to use any application management client, like the one implemented by Linux, to deploy the application on a specific provider. Because we are using Docker, the processes are therefore running in an isolated processing environment, which is exactly the same that the developer built for it and can be deployed in several cloud providers. The deployed applications appear as WPS process offerings, and, as shown in this example from CubeWalks, executing a deployed application is simply a matter of using the WPS execute operation. However, the application developer is interested in optimizing the data staging operations needed to feed the application. In the previous examples, it was necessary to define multiple collections serving the same data type, a catalog for Sentinel-2 in IPT, and a catalog for Sentinel-2 in Amazon. Terradue explored this issue, and defined how an application could enhance the data staging, taking in consideration the production center it was deployed in. This work allows also the use of a single catalog instance expressing multiple data locations. It created a specific OpenSearch parameter extension that allowed queries to be executed in a single collection defining different targeted downloads. If the data was to be processed in IPT Poland, it returns the specific file URL. If the data was to be processed in Amazon, it returns the S3 location. We will now show you an alternative approach followed by Spacebell that is based on the use of the transactional WPS. The demonstration deals with a land cover mapping application from the Forestry tab. The developer needs to write the container Docker information in order to describe the required execution environment for the application. The Docker file will also identify how to launch the application. The developer provides a process description to list the input data. The process description defines all the information about the application, including the Docker image reference and also the open search catalogs available to discover the input products. The Spacebell client is a web portal that allows the discovery of the available applications and their execution instances, in this case IPT Poland or Spacebell. The user may deploy a new service by providing the application package. In Spacebell implementation, the WPS process description embeds all the required information. The OWS context document may also be provided embedded in the metadata of the process description, allowing any WPS clients to retrieve this information. When executing an application on the Spacebell client, the list of possible inputs are displayed, and description of the inputs is shown on mouse over with the values configured by the application developer set by default. When the input metadata defines a catalog, the user may perform a product search on that service. The reference of the selected products is copied to any of the input forms. The user may now submit the execution of the process on the selected platform. The executions view displays all the execution instances submitted to the selected platforms. In case of a successful run, a thumbnail of the result output is displayed, and it is possible to download the output file, whereas exception messages are displayed when an error occurs. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please check the OGC web portal and the European Space Agency TEP websites.